Hello everybody. Hi Malak. Hi Yusuf. How are you? How are you today? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, that's very good. Would you please open your grammar books on page 9? We're gonna continue where we stopped yesterday. And acknowledge that you can see this PDF file. Guys, have you opened your books?
Yes.
Okay. Like we talked about yesterday, we're gonna continue from example 2. So the sentence says the freshest fruits in the store are the apples and pears, which were picked only yesterday. This exercise requires us to choose the underlined word and determine the underlined word, whether it's an adjective or is a pronoun. As I told you, an adjective describes a noun or a pronoun, so it needs something to be described. It must be followed by a noun or a pronoun. Okay, the adjective purpose is to describe something, so you need something to be described coming after it or following it. Okay, if you cannot find a noun immediately after the word, it most probably is a pronoun. Okay, so let's continue with number 2. Would you, Yusuf, please, would you correct or choose the correct answer? Tell us the correct answer. Example 2. Yusuf.
Huh?
The freshest fruits in the store are the apples and pears, which, and this is the underlined word, which were picked only yesterday. Which here, is it an adjective or is it a pronoun? Remember, if it's an adjective, it must be followed by a noun, and it needs a noun to describe or modify. If it's a pronoun, it can stand alone. It can also work as either the subject or the verb. Can you walk us through sentence? And the original sentence says it consists of.
Pronoun.
Right, go ahead.
Pronoun.
It's a pronoun, yes, bravo. Why is it a pronoun? Why?
Because it can't be removed from the sentence.
Yes.
And it stands as subject.
Yeah, if we decided to remove it, let's see if we can remove it. Let's cross it over and reread the sentence. The sentence would be the freshest fruits in the store are the apples and pears were picked only yesterday. Would this be grammatical, Malak? No. Why? Because here we have the subject, the freshest fruits or fruits. We have a subject. This is a subject. Let me zoom in. Can I zoom in? Yeah, this is better. Oh, annotations are now moved. Okay. The fruits here is the subject, so we will write S for subject. Are, this is our verb, so we write V. Apples and pears, apples and pears. This is our object. Okay, so this is the original sentence. Okay, subject, verb, object. Okay, if we cross over which, we would read the freshest fruits in the store are the apples and pears were picked only yesterday. So we would have a second verb. This is the verb number 2, and we will not find a subject for it. Can you find the subject, Malak? Malak, would you please unmute yourself?
Yes.
Yeah, hi, how are you? Remember that every verb needs a subject. Every verb needs a subject. So if we have subject 1, this is subject 1. I have a spotlight. Yeah, this is subject 1, fruits. Okay, so subject 1 is fruits. Verb 1 is are. Object 1 is apples and pears. This is the main elements of the sentence. This is the first sentence. Okay. The second sentence, if we cross out which, we would end up with a verb standing alone without a subject. We would end up with verb without a subject. Okay, so this sentence, this very long sentence, is originally composed from 2 different sentences. The first is, let me write here, find a space. The first word, the freshest fruits are apples. That was our first sentence. The second one, the apples were picked yesterday. So we have 2 sentences, and we can combine them into one very large sentence via the use of which is a relative pronoun. Remember that who, which, that, and whom are relative pronouns, and we use relative pronouns to combine 2 different sentences into one very large sentence. So we have the fresh, let me hear. So we combine the 2 sentences into one, and we delete the second subject, which is the apples, and use which. Got it? Use which, and we put a comma. Okay, got it, Malak?
Yes.
Yeah, so we originally we had 2 sentences, two different sentences. Each one of them has its own subject and verb. So we had 2 subjects and 2 verbs, and we deleted the second subject and used the word which instead of it. Okay. Okay, so which here is a pronoun. Very good. Number 3, Malik. The underlined word is these. Number 3, go ahead. Is it a is it an adjective, or is it a pronoun?
Pronoun.
Is it a, why? Why do you think so?
Wait, which
Correct.
question? 2 or 3?
Number three. We're talking about number 3.
It's a pronoun.
Pronoun. Why? Can you tell me why? It's a pronoun. Yes, you're correct. But can you tell me why?
Because it cannot be removed.
Not be removed. Yeah, and it's also it works as the subject. It works as the subject in that the verb. It cannot be. If we removed it, it would be are not the books I ordered. That's a fragment. Okay, number 4. Yusuf, go ahead. A few days from now, we'll be able to laugh about the situation. A few days. This is what concerns us. This part. A few days. The word few, is it here an adjective, or is it a pronoun? Is it describing something, or is it the word few?
Adjective.
Adjective. Why?
Because it describes days,
It describes days. It describes the word days, and also
and it can be removed from the sentence.
remove it. However, it will change the meaning slightly, but still we would have a complete meaningful sentence. So days from now, we'll be able to laugh about this question. Very good. Malak, go ahead. Number 5.
Pronoun.
Play are we going to see? Which play are we going to see? Pronoun. Why?
Because it can't be removed.
It cannot be removed, and also it starts to ask a question. Actually, no. Actually, this is an adjective because it describes play. If we say, mark this, I'm gonna write it in a text. Okay. If the question says, which are we going to see? And we have another question that starts with which play are we going to see? Okay, we have 2 sentences. We have 2 questions. The first one starts with which are we going to see, and the second is which play are we going to see? Which in the first one, this one, can we choose different color? Bold. Yeah, no, not all bold. We want to make it all bold. Anyway, which in this, it highlighted here, this which is a pronoun. It's a pronoun. Why? Because it's not followed by a noun. It's not followed by a noun. So it is the thing we're talking about. It is the main subject of the question. Okay, it's the main subject of the question. In this sentence, the second one, in this question, sorry, in this question, the second, which play are we going to see? It's an adjective. Why? Because it's followed by a noun. It describes the play. It describes the noun, which is the play. So it's not talking about which. We have a chat. We have a chat box. Mr. If we remove few, it will not be a complete sentence. In number 4, it will be a date. Yeah, we're gonna have to remove the a. We're gonna have to remove the a. I'll get back to that, Wasal. Just a second. I'll get back to that. Just a second. I was saying we're number 5, Wasal. We're in number 5. The word is considered an adjective if it describes a noun coming after it. Okay, it describes a noun coming after it, and mostly in most adjectives we can remove them in most adjectives, but not in 100% of the cases. Okay, or we can have them removed, but we're gonna have to do other modifications to the sentence and also to the meaning. Okay, so the meaning is the definitive factor here. Okay, so which are we going to see? In this case, which is the subject. Okay, it's the subject, and it's in this question it's the pronoun. It's a pronoun. But in which play are we going to see? It's an adjective. Why? Because it's describing the play. It's describing which one of the plays are we going to see. It's giving you preferences or choices among some plays. Okay, so number 5 is a pronoun. Number 5 is a pronoun. So let's get back. Do you have a problem with number 5? Malak, Wissal, Yusuf, do you have a problem with number 5? Number 5
No.
is a noun. Why? Oh, because number 5 is number 5 is an adjective. Why? Because it describes the word coming after it, which is play. The word play. If the question was which are we going to see, then it would have been a pronoun. Let's go back to number 4. Let's go back again to number 4. Wissal says that if we removed it, like I said, in most cases we can safely delete adjectives, but not in 100% of the cases. Okay, but let's take a look at this sentence again. A few days from now, a few days, the few, this word few, it describes what? It describes days. It describes days. Okay, so we can easily remove it. We would have a slightly changed meaning, but still it can be removed. And in that case, we would have to remove the a, of course, this is the indefinite article. So we'd move the two words, the a and the few. So the meaning, the sentence would be days from now, we will be able to laugh about the situation. It has a slightly changed meaning, but still it's meaningful. Number 6, go ahead, Wasal. Those, is those here, is it a pronoun, so it works as a subject or an object, or is it describing something in the sentence? Is it a pronoun? If it's a pronoun, it's either a subject or an object, okay? If it's an adjective, it means it's describing or modifying something else. Okay, you're gonna use the chat box, no problem. If you cannot use your microphone. Okay, now adjective though, because we can remove it and it describes something, I guess. Wissal says that it's an adjective. So let's take a look if we can remove, where is the, not the mouse, I want the annotator, where is the annotator? No, it won't be a meaningful sentence. Why? Here we have a relative clause. Who come, remember to see those who come late at the back of the church. Whenever you see a relative clause, separate them back into their two original sentences. Can you separate this sentence, including the relative clause, into its own original sentences? Can you split them back? Can you split them into the two sentences they originally are? Can someone do that?
What's the question?
Here in number 6, when we read, remember to see those who come late at the back of the church. This is a very large sentence containing a relative clause. Do you agree? Don't you agree with that? Yes, we have here a relative clause, which starts with who come late at the back of the church. Can we separate those sentences into their two original sentences? I write them here. I'll write them here for you. Remember to seat those, the people, those means those guests, maybe the guests come late at the back of late. These are of the church. Originally, we had two sentences. This is the first one. Remember to see those. I'm asking a person, maybe an assistant to me, my personal assistant. I'm asking him to, or her, to remember to see those at the back of the church. I'm talking about certain people, and I want him to see them at the back of the church. Who are these? Who are these people? Those guests who come late. They come late. So we have two original sentences, and we combine the two sentences into one large sentence. So we say, remember to seat those who come late at the back of the church. Okay? Okay. So, we used who to combine two different sentences into one large sentence, And our original sentence here are our original sentences. Remember to see those at the back of the church. The guests come late. Here we have a verb, and the subject is implied, which is you, because this is an imperative mood or an imperative sentence. Okay, this is the main verb, and those here is a relative an object pronoun. Those here is an object pronoun. Okay, it's meant to talk about certain people, right? It's meant to talk about certain people. Those here is not. This is not followed by a noun. It's not though. If the sentence was remember to see those people, then it's an adjective. Okay. Remember that adjectives must be followed by a noun. An adjective, they describe the following noun. They describe the following noun. Okay. If the sentence was, can I erase all of this? Yeah, very good. The sentence was, just bear with me. Remember to seat those, and stop. Versus remember to seat those people. Okay. Wasal, can you please tell me those in the word those in each of the two sentences, which one of them is used as an adjective and which one of them is used as a pronoun? The first one, this one, highlighted, the one highlighted here. Those here, is it a pronoun or is it an adjective? Adjectives must be followed by a noun, and adjective describe the following noun. Pronoun, they don't have to be followed by a noun, and they can stand alone in the sentence by themselves. Okay, I'm reading the chat box. So Wasal saying the first one is a pronoun, the second one is an adjective. Yes, correct. So let's get back to number 6. Remember to see those who come late at the back. What do you think those here is it an adjective or is it a pronoun? I'm asking you, Wasal. Still Wasal. Don't be confused by the relative clause. The relative clause starting from here. The relative clause starting from here. What's that? I want to spotlight. This is just at the relative clause. Okay. This is a relative clause. This is originally a different sentence that you should not mistake or confuse with the first one. The first one ends here. Okay, so we should have like a pair. So yeah, you said pronoun. Yes. Remember to see those pronoun. Yes, that's a pronoun. So number 7. Yusuf, go ahead.
Okay. 7.
Katya enjoys most movies, though she prefers comedies. The word most, is it here? Is it a pronoun or is it an adjective? If it's followed
Adjective.
by a noun, yeah, it's an adjective. Why? Because it's followed by a noun and it describes that noun specifically. It describes that noun specifically. Okay. If most is not followed by a noun, then it's a pronoun. Very good. Thank you, Yusuf. Malak, go ahead. 8. Number 8. These old photographs were left to me by my grandmother. If it's followed by a noun, then it's an adjective describing that noun. If it's describing that noun, then it's an adjective. If it's not followed by a noun, then it's a pronoun. Let me use the eraser. Take your time, Malak. Let me use the eraser. What?
Adjective.
It's an adjective. Very good, very good. Let me just clear it also. These old photographs are or were left to me. And a second example, these were left to me by my grandmother. Okay. Okay. Take a moment and tell me which one of the word these is an adjective and which one is a pronoun, and why.
The first one is an adjective and the second one is the pronoun.
Yes, yes. The first one, this one highlighted in blue, it describes old photographs. Okay, so it modifies those old photographs. It's talking about those old photographs. Okay. So وكأننا يعني كأن احنا بس نقصد بنحدد او we're talking about these photographs. We're not talking about other photographs. However, here it's the same meaning. It's the same meaning, but these here is the subject. This is the word. These here is not an adjective. Not used as an. It's not used as an adjective in the second sentence. Of course, I'm talking about the second sentence. It's not used as an adjective. It's used as a subject. A subject. All right. Number 9. Wasal, go ahead. Number 9. Wasal, are you here? Yeah. Wasal says it's a pronoun. Some prefer a cold meal to a hot one. Yes, it's a pronoun. Why, Wasal? Why? Let me clear it for you, because here is our sentence. Some prefer a cold meal to a hot one, versus some people prefer a cold meal to a hot one. Wasal, which one of these would be a pronoun? Which one of these would be an adjective? Yeah, I know you're here. The first one is, Wasal says the first one is a pronoun, yes, and the second one is, of course, an adjective. Why? Because the second one describes people. Okay, so people is the subject. That's the subject. Okay, and that's the verb. We have subject and verb. Subject, people is the subject, and prefer is the verb. Some here is just an adjective. The word some here is just an adjective. Okay. However, in the first sentence, some is the adjective, some is a pronoun, and it works as the subject. So now we're at the end of our class. Before we go, I'd like to refer you to the important announcement I put on your LMS. Have you got the time to read it? Have you checked?
Yes.
Yeah. So please make sure that the rest of your friends or classmates know what's in it. I have made slight changes to the quiz. We're gonna have a written quiz on Sunday. We're gonna discuss all of the grammar topics discussed so far, and the selected items, the bulk of items from Unit 3 only. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, class. Before you go, just could you give me like a second? I'd like to take a screenshot of your participation or attendance. Just a second, and you're free to go. Thank you so much. Have a nice day and have a nice weekend. Goodbye.